Because they have these ideas based on mainstream media about who we're fighting against. You know, for example, if you tell the average American we're not at war with radical Islam, they think you're crazy. They say, oh, no, we're not at war with communism. They think you're insane until you say, hey, wait a minute. We're not at war with radical Islam because who's our biggest ally in the region? Saudi Arabia. Their brand of Wahhabism is like the Taliban with money, and they have the influence to interfere in Syria. They have their.
I was going to say
they have their little.
How does the left put up with it?
Yeah. All right, then. What about communism? When they say, oh, we're not against communism. Oh, how could you say that? Who's our biggest economic partner?
China.
China. So you know who we're really at war with, and I tell people all the time? We're at war with people that say no to us, no to the agenda of the people who run behind government.
It's a mafia.
That's technically how it is. I mean, if we don't give access to natural resources as a third world entity, we find ourselves on a hit list. You know, you find yourself being persecuted, being brought down.
If you try to be sovereign.
It doesn't matter if you're a communist government, or it doesn't matter if you are a capitalist entity that just wants a little more of the slice. They'll portray you, one, as a Stalinist, or two, they'll portray you as a kleptocracy, when in reality, who were you stealing money for? You. We just didn't want to cut you in anymore because you felt like, as America, you weren't doing enough to get your slice. The same way people were ignorant about France and Iraq when they said, oh, the French are soft, we're going to eat freedom fries. I'm like, the French are war masters. They've been involved in every major battle in the world since they had it out with Attila the Hun. I mean, I think...
And then once we took it over, they got the oil.
Well, the only thing was this. When Sykes-Picot, which, you know, you're an intelligent man, but for people that don't know out there, Sykes-Picot was a treaty that was signed before World War I, where they decided to carve up the Middle East. France's slice was Lebanon and Syria. England's slice was Iraq and Egypt and all the rest of that. When it came down to it, the French were like, dude, that's not my problem. America, you inherited that issue.
No, that's right. And now who's behind Libya? Who's behind Syria? Their slice, it was France, because it's next door to Tunisia. You're absolutely right. And see, you've done your research.
The UN as their little, like the UN is all of a sudden there to save them from Gaddafi, as if he wasn't used by them for their purposes before.
But see, that's what's so refreshing is that you've actually done research when even 95% of people that think they're research don't know all this. That is what is so frustrating, is that they put Obama in. Webster Tarpley predicted all this in the Obama deception 4.5 years ago. He said they're going to attack Africa. They're going to put in AFRICOM. He named all the countries. They're going to take out Gaddafi. Because
say that again for the people. Who was that guy?
Webster Tarpley.
Webster Tarpley. You see, that's what I mean. That's how hip-hop is. Slow the record down, bring it back. Webster Tarpley. Go look that up, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there.